for those that don't know, what are the 10 towns? This has existed for a while.
Yeah, so about 400 years before the present timeline, Icewind Dale was just, an explorer's. There were no settlements of any kind. But then mountaineers and other explorers start to create camps. These camps became fortified to defend them against encroaching threats from Yeti and crag cats and other indigenous predators. And then they kind of blossomed into small little towns, most of which have remained quite small. A lot of the towns have populations as low as 100 people.
Oh, wow.
The biggest town is only 1,200 people. The 10 towns are Bremen, Bryn Shander, Caer Dineval, Caer Konig, Dugan's Hole, Goodmead, East Haven, Tourmaline, Targos, and Lonelywood. And most of them are built on lake shores, frozen lake shores. The main kind of hub of 10 towns is the town of Bryn Shander, which is not on a lake, but perched on top of a mountain, and it's got a wall around it. And it's kind of like the first place an outsider would probably come to. If you follow the road up through the mountains into Icewind Dale, that road ends at Bryn Shander. And it's kind of like if all the other towns fall, their survivors basically would go to Bryn Shander and make their final stand. It is the last stand here in this place. And every town has an elected representative called a speaker who basically speaks for that town. And it's the 10 speakers who meet and basically govern these 10 towns. But as happens, competition between the towns erupts, particularly when food supplies start to dwindle. Most of the 10 towns relies on fishing to get by. And as the lakes freeze over and fish become harder to catch, the towns get more agitated with one another as certain towns start to realize they're being cut out, or they're suffering more from the crisis than their nearest neighbor. And so some bitterness can arise and create inner town conflict on top of everything else.
Right. Everything else is already bad.
Exactly.
Can you speak to the Frostmaiden at all? Is this a local myth? Is it a legend?
Not a legend, because in the world of the Forgotten Realms, of course, gods are real. They exist. They have been seen. The Frostmaiden is what we in D&D refer to as a lesser god, which is the way we stratify them is greater gods tend to be ideals in a way. You're not meant to, you never fight them. When they appear, they can appear in any form, but that's just it's a projection kind of like, but then there are lesser gods who are actually kind of material entities, and they can be deeply flawed. They can be different, have different goals and alignments. But they're more like the analogy I like to use a lot is, Thor Ragnarok, Kate Blanchett's character of Hela.
Mm-hmm.
She's a god, but she's just a very powerful earthly figure. Right. You can touch her, you can shake her hand, you can converse with her, beat her over the head with a spear. You wouldn't want to, because she'd probably wipe the palace floor with you.
The death toll was high.
Yes, the death toll was very high, but they are fallible, confrontable entities who just happen to be immensely powerful, and they attract a following. And Auril sort of falls into that category. Auril the Frostmaiden is a deity, the Forgotten Realms. She is the god of winter's cruelty and wrath. And so she's associated with winter, the cold, the north, and all of that kind of business. And like many gods, she can assume different forms, and she's got an agenda.
Pre-order Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden now on D&D Beyond, and get exclusive pre-order rewards, including digital dice.